So one of the provocative parts of this book is that you're critical of both the left and the right. So talk about what you see as the myths that both the left and the right have about the education system's potential.
Sure. So, I mean, the on the left, you have this really cheery and optimistic and plainly false assumption that if we just tweak a few things in their environment, if we can pass a few social programs, and if we can maybe make a few alterations to schools, all students will have equal opportunity, equal ability to perform well in an academic environment. It's the really sort of blind optimism in the ability of policy to change everyone's academic outcomes. But there's every reason to believe that there is such a thing as a baseline ability, that baseline ability varies within the population, and that some people are just more academically inclined than others. And if you believe in that, if you accept that premise, then the attempt to make everyone equal or to have the equal opportunity becomes impossible. On the right, there's a similar faith, but it comes from just from a different direction, which is that if we applied market mechanisms to schooling, then that's going to fix things. That if we have school choice in the form of charter schools and private school vouchers, that the competitive pressures will force these schools and teachers to teach better and to churn out students who are excelling academically. But that, again, is based on this notion that there is no such thing as a student side factor, right? Like, it's based on the notion that there is no sort of baseline of ability or intrinsic ability or underlying ability that students have. And it is contrary even to the information, even to the beliefs of people who press for more market mechanisms in schools. So Rand Education is very much a kind of neoliberal education policy shop. They are very pro teacher merit pay. They're pro charter school. They're pro the market mechanism in schools. Even they estimate that student side factors are 4 to 8 times more powerful than school side factors in determining outcomes. And so I think conservatives just have a different myth, which is, a common conservative myth, which is, the market mechanism will fix everything.
And before we go on, you are just so listeners know, and you say this often in the book, you're a self-avowed socialist and a Marxist, and you're very critical. One of the reasons the book's intellectually entertaining. It's also very well-written, easy to read. But one of the reasons intellectually entertaining is that you're very tough on the left, even though you are coming from the left.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting situation in education because it's one of the places where there's the clearest divisions within what we would broadly call the left. So there's the sort of neoliberal left, which pushes for charter schools, sometimes for private school vouchers, for merit pay, for getting rid of teacher tenure. And then you have the more traditional labor left, who supports teachers and teacher tenure and teacher unions, and believe that the problem is doesn't lie with our teachers, but with the conditions in which our students live. So that's an interesting war that's going on. But to my mind, both sides sort of miss the picture, and I think it's a very reductive vision of human equality that they are embracing when they push against the idea of any kind of baseline ability. So people say to me, well, you're saying that some students have lower baseline ability, and so you're saying that they're unequal, that they are not as good as other children. But of course, the whole premise of the book is that we shouldn't be using academics as a stand-in for a kid's value or ability to be equal, right? In other words, I mean, exactly what I'm arguing is that those kids are not less equal, they're not less valid, they're not less valuable simply because they don't have the same ability in school. And I think that the left should know better, but unfortunately, ideas about things like baseline ability are extremely controversial on the left right now.